I remember well the week in March when we made the decision about suspending worship. We changed our plans multiple times as everything was just so fluid that week. It seemed like every time you turned the news on, something had changed. First, we decided to not hold Sunday school or fellowship gatherings. Then we realized we needed to cancel worship altogether, but we decided to still hold a meeting of Olivet's leaders here at the church to determine how to move forward. And we realized we needed to cancel that as well. It took a few weeks for things to sink in that this was something that was not going away quickly. Within that first week, Olivet's elders met to discuss how to respond, and we discussed the reality that in-person worship may be suspended for a while. And we were nervous about the impact this would potentially have on our budget and our ability to do ministry in the community. Out of that first meeting, though, came a commitment to continue to be the church for one another and for the world, to continue to be beacons of hope, light, and love, and to continually remind people that while our building might be closed, the church would always remain open. What has happened since that first week will be a source of inspiration for me for the rest of my ministry, and for that matter, the rest of my life. I have stood in awe in the ways that this community of faith has responded in faithfulness, stepping out in generosity. How this community of faith has maintained an abiding trust that God is at work in our midst. Very quickly, we moved worship online, and we heard from countless family and friends of members who were joining us for virtual worship from around the country and throughout the world, for that matter. We took our Sunday school classes, our midweek ministries, our small groups, and we moved those online as well. We began to subdue collection drives out in front of the fellowship hall and the covered porch there. We supported the ministry of Shelter for Help in Emergency, The Haven. We did a food drive in the spring for the Emergency Food Bank. We've just completed a food drive this fall for Loaves and Fishes. We've supported Pacham in helping get some of their residents into permanent housing. We've sent a collection to our partners in Ethiopia to respond to some flooding that has taken place there. We have continued to be the church, to be in ministry, and it's incredible. We've continued to gather together. We've continued to have youth gatherings and children's ministry gatherings. We had a staycation Bible school over the summer. We met outside of the sanctuary over the summer for prayer services, and we've been doing Vesper services this fall. The list goes on, and it is absolutely incredible all that this community of faith has continued to do, and I'm thankful for each and every one of you. This month is our annual Stewardship campaign, where we ask community members to prayerfully consider giving to the work of the church in the coming year and to make a pledge of commitment. The Stewardship campaign is an opportunity to look to the future, to make plans for the church's continued ministry, and to dream about the ways in which the church can continue to serve the community and to build up God's kingdom. Seeing how we have responded in this year of challenge and uncertainty, I look to the future with incredible hopefulness and excitement. Olivet will continue to witness to God's love, will continue to be the church for one another, for the community and the world, and will continue to have a positive impact on people's lives. And I'm inviting you to be a part of this mission. So as you prayerfully consider your giving to God and neighbors through the Olivet community, I would invite you to consider briefly 4 biblical principles embedded in the concept of tithing. The first is giving as a priority, off the top of what we have, and not just what we have left over. The second is giving regularly, out of a commitment, and not just in response to a plea or when we feel like it. The third is giving proportionately as a percentage of the resources that we are stewards of. And the fourth is giving sacrificially with some degree of risk as a means of stepping out more in trust, detaching ourselves from false security in money and material things, and placing our treasure with God and God's kingdom, where we would like our hearts and lives to be also. Dedication Sunday is November 1st, and I hope you will join me in supporting Olivet's ministry for 2021 and beyond. I have stood in awe of all we have been able to do together in this community of faith during this unusual year, and I'm excited about all we will be able to do as a community next year and in the years to come as we live out our calling of being the hands and feet of Christ throughout our world. Thanks be to God for each and every one of you, and thanks be to God for the Olivet Church.